Hello. My name is Holly Hartman, and I am a certified life transformation and dating and relationship coach. And today I want to talk about online dating and meaning online dating when you're dealing with scammers, trolls, and toxic people. I know you have to sift through lots of these when you're dealing with the online dating apps, and it can be really overwhelming and it can also be scary because there really truly are some legitimate scary people out there. But what I'd like to do today is teach you some little tips to look for red flags when you're dealing with these people so you can filter fast. My encouragement here is not to get stuck in the energy of that they exist and that you're frustrated and all you feel is that that's what's happening. Like, try to focus your energy elsewhere and just go, okay, that's what it is. Filter. Next, and just move them through. Don't waste your energy or time or anger or any of those like negative emotions that take up so much energy. It's so not worth it. So we're going to talk about some of those red flags right now. So some of the common ones are if they say they live in a whole nother country and they're working there, or maybe they're military in deployment. Typically, those are scammers, or they say they're widowed. Now, granted, there are definitely some legitimate widowers on there, but be cautious because oftentimes they use that as an emotional ploy to get you connected. So just be really cautious if someone says that they're a widower and make sure to ask more questions. You may see some of these other red flags that are showing up in addition to that. They may have maybe 1 to 2 photos on there. And if they do, they typically look like stock photos. Or if they look like a model, they may be too good to be true, right? So that's why I also tell people, show who you truly are. If you're completely dolled up and look like you should be on a magazine, someone might think you're a scammer, even though that's who you really are. So show who you really are in your daily versus like your glamorized, because typically you're probably not going to show up as that on your first date anyway, right? But you don't want to make people think that you are a scammer because of the way you show up. Some other indicators that they might be a scammer. One, very obvious, if they're asking for money, go ahead and block and delete and actually report them. If they're trying to do some financial transaction, if they're trying to get you to a whole nother place before you meet, meaning they're trying to connect with you on Facebook, or they're trying to connect with you on WhatsApp app or Instagram. The reason why they're doing that is because there's less safety precautions when they get you on another app. And that's when you start getting the inappropriate phallic photos in your messenger. They can't do that on a dating site. So it is somewhat protected. So until you meet someone in person, you may want to stay on the page. Now, some of the apps right now have this opportunity where you can do a video chat. So if you have one of those apps, I highly encourage you creating a quick video meet and greet. Or you can ask them to send a photo and you can give them a secret code and say, hey, I'd like for you to put 2 fingers up and stick your tongue out and send me that picture. So you have proof that that's that person. Now, some people might go, I'm offended. I don't care. Safety is more important. I don't care if you're offended. I'd like to make sure I wouldn't do it with everybody, but if my spidey senses can think that you might be a scammer or a troll, I'm going to ask that. And that's totally okay. And it's totally okay they don't respond. But if they unmatch you right away, it's probably a pretty good indicator that they are in fact a scammer. Another indicator is that when you're trying to meet with them in person, they have excuses. They're going to be out of town or they work out of town and things of that nature. If they're constantly doing that, I would really be guarded and I would at least push for a video chat to see. A phone call, people can change they cannot be who they say. They can change their dialect on a phone. But a video, it really reduces the risk of interacting with scammers. Now, there are people that are scammers in real life, absolutely. But I'm talking about those people that are bots that are trying to get your financial information, that are like overseas. They're not even a female or a male, whoever they're playing to be, they are not that. And the reality is there's lots of them on there. So instead of wasting our energy on those, we're going to know what those red flags are and we're going to filter fast. And we're not going to waste any energy worrying about that. And we're going to go, that's what they are. They didn't get me. Next, next, and then move forward because it's going to happen. And don't internalize if people unmatch you because oftentimes you're calling them out on their crap and they know it. And they're not going to come out and say, I'm a scammer. So oftentimes they'll schedule a date, but then they'll unmatch you before it actually happens because they realize they can't get to you. So don't be discouraged when that happens because it does happen. Trying to think if there's anything else. Those are the main things. Now, a safety feature that you might honor yourself with is getting a Google number. Now, Google number, before you give your number out, maybe before a date, you'd like to give your number out, or maybe the app that you're on does not have video options and you want to do a video chat, then you may want to give your phone number. But I would not give your personal phone number out until you've met somebody in person because your cell phone is actually linked to your address in many, many ways. And people can come find you. I know that's scary, and I'm sorry if you didn't know that. So I highly encourage going and getting a free Google number. And there may be other ones that are out there that you can do. And it's common that people do this. It's not shady or anything by you doing this. It's about you protecting you. We're going to talk about healthy boundaries here. If you feel somebody is a scammer, it is okay to block them. You don't have to call them out. You don't have to instigate it. I wouldn't put any energy in it. Just block and report and move on. You are well within your right to do that. Anything past that, you're wasting your energy. And that energy could be moved towards something healthy, something you can attract in the future. So if you have any other tips and pointers, maybe something that you've gone through before, of these toxic people, or somebody that might just come out and just be plain out repulsive, making sexual comments right out the gate, block, report, and move on. Don't waste your energy because yes, there are a lot of people on there that are there for one thing and maybe that's not your thing and that is okay. Or maybe they're a couple. Sometimes that happens. They're in the lifestyle and they're trying to find a third person for their party. Just block, move on, unmatch and move on if that is not your thing. Don't waste energy in this toxic cycle because yes, we have to filter through a lot of that, but don't waste your energy on it. So any tips or pointers or any other things that work for you to look for these red flags, definitely post them down and comment below. I'd like to share that with our community. Know that you are not alone. We all have been a victim of it and we've all had to navigate it. And it's the unfortunate part of where we are in this world with online dating, but it doesn't have to steal your energy. Filter fast, move on, and be open to the possibilities of attracting your healthy mate.